Aqua Paradiso is a premier carp fishing water in the heart of the city. At around 2017, photos started cropping up of some magnificent fish that reside in the lake, especially some unique mirrors. About a year later, I was invited by Mark Roberts to do a session, and I managed to land my first carp from Aqua. So that's when I decided to join the syndicate and do a campaign for the next 12 months.
There's a rainbow. That's cool. So hopefully that brings us a bit of luck. Really thought I was going to have to put in quite a few more nights to get my first one. Got to the lake and I forgot my tackle bag at home. In there is my new mirror PB. Even though they weren't the biggest, every single one of them had the hard facing. Yo, I just had the most intense battle with the carp ever. This would be one I would expect to end my campaign on. It's a good thing they're on the spot, so it's always a chance of one or two more. So my first fish of the session, stalked right in close, probably 60 centimeters from the bank. Well pleased with how the season's gone. My current mirror PB is from here, and I've also had some stunning fish. Go, my first fish of the session, stalked right in close, probably 60 centimeters from the bank. On a single tiger nut, tipped with a yellow fake maize, dipped in the Nash sweet corn extract. What a stunning mirror. Lovely fat with some starburst scales. Wow. Nice, let's get him back. So I'm quickly going to show you the rig I used to catch that lovely mirror on. So it's a slippy fluorocarbon rig. To that I add a tiger nut. Just find one that suits the size that you're looking for. It's relatively small because I'm only feeding small particle bits of tiger nuts, MC crushed tigers and the birdseed mix, so you don't need them to be massive. Take a piece of fluorocarbon and slip that into the ring on your D. Slip that in there. Take your tiger, slip it on to those two hairs now. Put the tail against the ring. There you go. Now take a fake maize. In this instance I'm using a yellow one. Let's put that on there. Nice. Also slip that onto those pieces of fluorocarbon. Put it against the tiger nut. Cut off the excess, leaving about 3 or 4 mil of fluorocarbon, so you can blob it with the lighter. Let's try that and hope. Go. So, and then push it down with the lighter. There we go, and that's what it looks like. So that hook might seem a bit aggressive, but believe me, it works. And I've caught that same fish on this rig with the size 2 twister, and it also had a very small mouth. Just feel that the bigger the hook, the more difficult it will be for them to get rid of it. So there we go. Let's now dunk it in the sweet corn extract and get it out.
In my opinion, stalking is probably one of the best ways to catch carp, and this is my main reason for joining Aqua, as we do not have many venues that offer this exciting opportunity. So my plan was to spend the day stalking, and on my first session it came real good, and I managed to land not 1 but 2 fish, stalking them right in close.
There we go. This one's a little bit different. A koi. My first koi in so long. I do love catching them. What a surprise. Only a couple of minutes after putting the rod out. Came this side of the lake. After that side wasn't producing. And I saw this one in the margin. Once again, had him on a single tiger nut. Tipped with a fake mace. Not bad. Let's get some shots and get him back. So, just got to the dam, so I'm going to take a bucket of bait, start on this side, and I'm going to walk all around the lake and put some bait in a couple of likely looking areas, and then on my way back I'll check all of them to see if there's maybe a fish or 2 in one of the swims, and as soon as I see something I'll have a go at them. So let's get this walk over and done with and try and find a couple of fish.
When looking for stalking opportunities, I try and focus my attention on spots that are close in, where I can hopefully see the bottom and make sure that it's clean, that my rigs are presented. I'll also bait up quite a few different spots, so that while I'm walking around I can check all of them to make sure that I'm fishing in the most productive way possible.
Well, I've been walking for about 3 hours. I've went past all the spots a couple of times and still I haven't seen one fish show yet, but there's still hope. There's still a long day left ahead of us, so I'm gonna go in one of the spots and try out my best just for an hour or 2, and then once again try and walk around to see if I can find anything. I'll let you guys know how it goes. Unfortunately, the day didn't go quite to plan. I baited up quite a few different areas, walked around loads. I think I ended up walking around 14 kilometers for the day, and I just couldn't get any fish feeding. I saw one carp, a single one, for the whole day. So the odds were kind of stacked against me, but I'm sure next time will be better, and hopefully then I can hold up a carp again. Yo, I just had the most intense battle with a carp ever. It's not big, it's small common, but yo, it gave up one hell of a fight, because there's snags on the left hand side of the swim and the right hand side, so I had to keep him in between the two, and he just went underneath the branch, and luckily he stayed still enough, and we just wrapped the rod around the branch and I was able to get him in the net. So let me get him out and show you what this common looks like. That gave me quite a bit of a scare. There he is, an angry little common. Look at the paddle on that thing. Wow, so excited for the day session. Actually saw this one feeding on the spot. It was feeding a couple of centimeters away from the hook bait, and he clocked the hook bait, looked at it, and then slowly swam back. So I thought, no, there's something about the rig that might be spooking him. So I was busy tying up a new rig, and the rod ripped off. Almost gave me a heart attack. Super happy with it. So let's get him back, and hopefully we can get another one throughout the day. Okay, so I just added some fresh bait onto the spot. I'm going to leave most of my stuff here, just take the rod and the net, and see if I can find any fish on any of the other spots that I baited up earlier. So let's go for a walk.
While walking, I make sure to check the pre-baited spots. I also try and look for new opportunities. So if I see a fish in the edge, I'll maybe try put out a little bit of bait and see if I can nick a quick bite. Unfortunately, this is not always the case.
Okay, so I just found one right here in the edge on the last spot that I baited. So I'm gonna get my rod ready, lower it in, and hopefully I don't spook him away and we can get a chance. So let's see. Rod's out. There's not much bait left on the spot. Didn't bring any with me. So the good thing at least is that my hook bait will hopefully be one of the first things that the fish picks up when he comes back. Hopefully it does come back. Now with there not being a lot of food left, hopefully it does come back, as there's not too much to keep him in the swim at the moment. So hopefully it comes back and we can have a chance.
Now, as I mentioned, the reason for joining was for the stalking opportunities. Now unfortunately for me, the rules were about to change and I had to change my approach.
So I'm back at Aqua today just for some feeding, because the rules changed a bit. There's no more stalking, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to try and change my approach and do a bit more of a bait and wait type approach. So I'm here trying to find a spot on swim number 10. It's the bivvy swim. So I'm going to try and find a spot that's close in that I can reach with the 6-foot rods. It is a close range spot with a lot of snags on both sides, front, back, forward, everywhere. So I'm going to try and find an area now, put some baits in, and then maybe bait it for a couple of weeks and then come back and do a night session. So most of my fishing is going to be night sessions now instead of the planned day sessions. and let's see, maybe I can get a fish or two doing it this way. Hopefully we can find a nice spot. So let's get to work. Okay, I'm just using the spot and marker rod here with some spot and marker braid on it. Just found a nice area with a little bit of a downslope just in front of some snags. So I'm going to use the rod now with a 2.5 ounce lead just to find a nice clear spot in between all the grass that's here, because there's quite a few grass patches and I don't want to be inside one. So I'm just trying to get in between some of that grass so my bait is presented properly. I'm just feeling with the lead, just feeling the bottom and trying to find a clear spot. Okay, so I just found a spot. So what I did now is I dropped the lead, found a nice spot just after a little drop, put the lead down, and then I went, keeping the lead at the same spot, I went around with the boat and the deeper to try and see if there's any snags or anything in between me and the spot, and there's nothing. There's also no snags close to the left or to the right. So I'm leaving the lead there now, going back to the bank, and then I'll clip it up and then I'll cast it out and find a marker on the horizon, so I have something to actually cast to, and then I'll go back in the boat and I'll put some feed over the spot, and then I have my spot that I'm going to try and campaign for the next couple of months hopefully.
My reason for choosing swim number 10 is because it is the closest that you can get to the sanctuary where no fishing is allowed. With the amount of snags and trees in that area, fish tend to migrate there. And swim 10 also has the biggest body of shallow water, so I believed this would be the best place to interpret fish as they move from the open water into the sanctuary. After this spot finding and feeding session, I only managed to get back to Aqua about a month later due to fishing a couple of different venues in between. All these sessions took out quite a bit of fishing time from Aqua, so it was just about 2 months before I was able to return back, and this time it would leave me with something that I would never forget.
There we go, my first fish on an overnight session. Oh, about that, just shy of 30 pounds. Lovely common on an overnight session. I can't believe it. Really thought I was going to have to put in quite a few more nights to get my first one. So I'm well chuffed with this one. Let me quickly show the other side. Oh. Well happy with this one. I lost one in the early hours of the morning, just an hour or so after sunrise. Managed this lovely common. Let's get some photos and get him back. It's a really good start to the morning with that lovely common. To be honest, I didn't really expect that to happen so quick in the campaign. My first night back was after some of the rule changes. Stalking isn't allowed anymore, so To be honest, that took quite a bit of the wind out of my sails, so I haven't been back here in about 2 months. I've decided to focus in one area, and that is here on swim 10, fishing very close in. It's 7.5 wraps out, so it's just here in front, close to some snags, but it's a bit more open water than most of the other swims. In order to fish this spot most effectively, I felt that I needed to do some pre-baiting and get the swim going, rather than just rocking up here and taking the boat out and putting rods on a few different spots. I felt this is the best way to get fish confident, and it seems to have worked. It seems to have paid off. Last week I came back and I put about 10 spoms of bait just straight on the top, and when I got here last night I put in 2 spoms of the Nash dot spot, small one, just 2 spoms over the top with 2 rigs, and it gave me a bite at 5 in the morning. Unfortunately that one I lost, but that already made me feel so much more positive about fishing this bait and weight style. And just now also after first light, and I managed to get that lovely common. So clearly the bait's working and it's a good spot, so now I just have to keep at it, keep putting baits in, try and do some bait ups weekly, try my best just to keep a little bit of bait going in, because I have found that if you put too much bait in, they spook. So I'll try the same regimen that I just did, just put say 10 spoms the week before, and then when I actually come and fish, just 2 spoms over the top of my spot, because both rods are fished on the same spot. That's worked so far. Actually see a little bit of fizzing on my spot going on there. So yeah, very good. Gonna get tacked up now, and hopefully next time is just as good. Can't wait to get back. See you guys on the next session.
Wait, you're probably thinking, what was so unforgettable? And the answer is, it's a bit graphic. I managed to spill some hot water on my leg, and just after catching that common, I had to go to the emergency room and get burn wounds checked out. So just a bit of a warning, when dealing with hot water, please be careful. Those 3 sessions, I lost another month at Aqua, and I could not have received a better welcome back gift.
So, well, good morning. This is just had my second take. First take had a few beeps, bobbin hit the blank of the rod and was off, fortunately. And not even 5 minutes later, second rod went, and I managed to land another common. Super happy about this one. Really thought it wasn't going to happen this session. So quickly going to get the hook out of this fish and clip it up, get it straight back out, because as I recast the previous rod, it actually felt like I hit a fish. So I'm quickly going to get this one out and get it back. Hopefully it's time for one more. The nice thing about the barbless hooks, they slip out like nothing, so in the net fish actually spat the hook out. So let's get that back, hopefully catch one more. I'm really glad to see the hard work paying off, coming every week just to put 10 spoms of bait in. So it's reproducing, making me feel a lot more confident to keep coming back, keep doing it. And here's my prize for the hard work. Oh, as soon as you lie still, come on, I say. Oh, here we go. What a stunner. Really happy with this one. Really thought it wasn't going to happen this session, and there we go. What a lovely common. That tail has been through a few battles before. Wow, so this is actually making me feel very good about the campaign, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good one. Slip it back. So of course those two fish came in real quick succession. Just going to put out one small dot spot, just put some extra bait in the area, because I do believe there's more than one fish there. And that rocked up to the spot. So I'm just going to put one bait. I'm just going to put one spawn out there. Just keep them in the air and hopefully take another bite. Well, went from absolutely great session, really happy about it, to being absolutely depressed. So not too long after getting that rods back out, I had another take on the Ronnie, dropped it once again, let it in discharge, and as I was busy putting a new hook bait on that tiger nut hook bait that I recast on the previous fish was away. Now this time there was definitely something powerful, because it took line and it went, and I couldn't keep the pressure on, otherwise I was afraid the line might snap. And then with the whole struggle of trying to get into the canoe, trying to get the fish out, putting the rod down, grabbing the oars, getting frantically into the boat, went out there and it was already around a snag. Luckily I could feel that the fish wasn't there anymore, because while the rod was on the deck, it kept taking line. So unfortunately, I guess that's how it goes when you fish in the snags. But luckily the fish managed to slip the hook, because it is barbless. So by the time I got there, I could feel that there's no more tension, nothing happening from that side. And then I pulled the line back a bit, trying to get it out, and it got stuck in the snag. So at least the fish is safe, but not too happy about this. Really hope we can get better. But let's put new rig and everything on that quad and get it back out. Have an hour or two left, so always a chance. So in there, trying to pull off a great escape. Here's my new mirror PB and my new overall PB, and apparently possible lake record. So this session is really turning out to be quite an emotional roller coaster. Super happy with this one. Really happy. Here we go, my new mirror PB, 17.3 kilos. What an amazing fish. My overall PB as well. Really happy. Didn't expect this of losing that previous fish, but what a way to end the session, eh? Wow, absolute prehistoric mirror this. Let me show the other side. This would be one I would expect to end my campaign on. Wow. Really happy with this one. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay, so I've just released that fish and decided to just check the weight and the waistling because of the foam soaking up water. So the correction is 16.6 is the actual weight, not 17.3, but that's still an amazing fish. Really happy about that, and I couldn't have asked for anything better. But for now, it's time to pack up and head home, and hopefully next session is just as prolific. There we go, first one for the trip. It really seems to be one session on, one session off. What a stunner. My second one of the stockies. This one once again actually looked like it hasn't been caught before. Like I said in the beginning, I don't care how big they are. If I just catch anything, I'm always happy with it. Good set of shoulders on this guy. Wow, nice starburst scales on that side. Really nice fish, real character, truly one for the future. Wow, second mirror for the trip, complete contrast from the first one. First one being a stocky, this one being an original. And what a stunner it is. Old, gnarly scale, some indents here in his body. Wow, what a character. Yo, just imagine how old this fish has to be. So yeah, really good session. Really happy with how everything is going. So I'm pretty sure if I just keep on working through the stock, there's a very good chance of getting into one of the really big fish. So like I said, what a fish, real character. Get some photos and get him back. Luckily, my girlfriend came to visit, brought me a salad, some fish. Nice. If it wasn't for this, I would have been eating a banana and a pear for dinner. I was just busy eating some delicious dinner brought to me, and this one went off. This one was actually on the margin rod after changing the tactics a bit on the rig. And yeah, really happy with this one. Not the biggest one, but wow, I don't care. Any fish special, especially when it's one of these stockies. All of them are quite unique actually. But let me slip them back and then maybe we can get one or two more. So the sun has come up, and last night wasn't too bad actually. I managed, just after catching that first stocky, I managed to land another one that was even even smaller than that one. So I just quickly in the net just lift it up for a quick photo and then put it back. And after putting the rod back on that spot, it actually went again, but unfortunately it came off. But it's really small fish, because I can see them from the margin when I go to drop the rod. It's probably around 500 grams, or if that, of the size of the fish. So I decided to move that rod and put it on a hinge stiff rig with a 15mm scope squid pop-up, casting that just the side of my actual spot that I'm usually fishing. And now just around 6, that rod ripped off. Unfortunately, due to the nature of barbless hooks, it came off once it got its head into this weed here in the margin. But I guess that's how it goes, you win some, you lose some. At least it wasn't massive. I could see it was common, probably around mid-20s. But still gutted to actually lose a fish. So hopefully one of the other rods makes up for it, so that I can go with a decent sized fish. But at the end of the day, didn't blank. Managed to catch 2 last night technically, so I'm happy with that. Let's see how it goes. Well, just after losing that fish, only minutes after getting the rod back, I managed to land this lovely mirror. Another one of the stockies. Really nice fish. Really happy with this. The session really turned into quite a bit of a hectic spell, and after getting this fish, wiped out my other lines, so I had to redo them, and let's just say I had a few more. There's number 2 and number 4 of this morning. 2 lovely koi. Actually saw both of these feeding on my margin spot where I was fishing last night, and now I caught them both on the deeper spot in 5 meters of water. Not bad. Colourful ones. Let's get it back. Here we go. It's the biggest one of the session. Lovely common, powerful one. Went straight into the weed. Around 9 kilos. Long, probably a male common, because it's just about spawn time, just after it's probably spawned out already. Well, fertilized some eggs. What a crazy session it turned out to be. In total, I think I've had 6 fish now. Well, even though they weren't the biggest, every single one of them had my heart racing, and just incredible. Happy to be back, and let's hope there's some time for 1 or 2 more.
Next up was a week fishing session during the SA Carp Classic qualifier, and what a session it was. Everything didn't really go to plan, didn't end up as high on the leaderboard as we wanted to, but it was still an awesome experience. It was another month later, and I returned back to Aqua.
So, I just got to the lake and I forgot my tackle bag at home. So I had to go all the way back, fetch that before I can come back and continue the session. Let's just hope this is not a prediction for what the session is going to be like, and hopefully it doesn't start raining on my way back, but nothing I can do about it. All I can do is go back and fetch it and come back later. Okay, so that round trip actually caused me to drive out all the petrol that I had left. So I first had to stop at the petrol station, and now finally I'm heading back. So everything is about an hour overdue, just past an hour. So hopefully get to the lake and get the rods out and get fishing, because yeah, it's an hour overdue. Okay, I finally made it. So time to get set up and get fishing. Zay, let's go. Okay. So finally I have the rods out fishing. Well, 2 of them. I was supposed to use another 2 as well, but I forgot the reels at home. After going back home to fetch stuff, and I still forgot stuff at home. So this is not going as planned. That's also the session itself. A little bit less confidence than usual, because I haven't baited in about 5 weeks, as we had the Carp Classic SA qualifiers in the meantime, and after that things have just been quite a bit hectic, so I haven't found the chance to actually get out, come here and put in some bait. But there has been quite a bit of bait being put in by anglers, with the maize and stuff being cooked on site, so there has been feed going into the general area at least. So I'm hoping it'll be enough for me to maybe get a bite. Sitting here watching a coot trying to pick up my hook bait, diving on the spot. It's probably going to get it just now. But hopefully throughout the session you can get a carp or 2. Don't know, you never know, maybe it's a good session. I just need something to turn my luck around after forgetting everything at home. So let's see how it goes. Look at that lovely little koi in there. He's been feeding next to the jetty for the last few hours. I placed in some particle mix a bit earlier just to see what it looks like coming out of the spawn, and I probably spent an hour here trying to stalk him on just a piece of free line and a single hook, and it took forever for him to get his confidence up. He kept feeding around the hook bait, and eventually he nailed it, and I nailed him. There we go, let's get him out. There it is, as you can see, very small, but do not care at all. Probably my first fish in so many years on a piece of free line bait. Just a half a boilie free lined a piece of rock, and finally managed to get him in. There we go, lovely fish. Let's get him back. Gotta go on the boat. Well, unfortunately lost that fish. But I guess that's how it goes sometimes. Went straight into a tree, so I got on a little canoe and got over the spot to pull on the leader to try and get it out of the tree, and it came loose. Luckily it was just the knot that pulled loose onto the lead clip, so the fish is literally only having a hook link in its mouth. That's if it's still there, because it's barbless, so they spit it out quite easily. So unfortunate, but at least the fish is safe, and I can get the rod back out and hope for another one. Hopefully land the next one. Let's see. Look at that, one of the little ones. However, this one is one of the originals. You can see with the scale patterns, those indented scales. Lovely fish. This one was on a single pop-up, actually cast towards the willows, just about there where that coot was diving last night, and it ripped off just a couple hours before sunrise. Not bad. Let's get him back, and there's definitely a chance for one or two more. Well, just one more hopefully. Just gonna give it till about 8 o'clock, and hopefully we can get another one. We'll show the other side. So, and there's the other side of this lovely fella. Definitely going to be one of the nice ones in the future. Let's get him back.
The following weekend I filmed a guided session and also managed to land myself a new personal best.
Here we go, another session at Aqua. Probably one of my lasts for the year. Just waiting at the gate now. It's locked. So the security is just trying to find the key for me. And then as soon as that happens, then I'm gonna get fishing. But for now, maybe just try and catch a bass or just get the rods ready. So I have 3 rods in at the moment. So I'm still thinking about putting another rod in because I have 3 on the same spot now. And I'm thinking of putting another one in the margins here. It's nice clean, and it's possible from the other side. As you can see, the bottom water's quite clear, so you can see the bottom. So I'm just going to put in a little bit of bait, not much in there, just a hand or two under these trees. Actually fishing on the left, well, where he put some out to the left, and that's why I had a few of the smaller ones, some of those are Israelis a few weeks back. So it's a nice little spot to just get the bites from. So let me check. Did come here to put a little bit of bait earlier. Can't really see anything, but just too deep. I'm gonna put some extra bait in there, and then hopefully a bit later on I'll be able to see something and I'll come drop a bait. But first there has to be a fish there for me to put the bait there. I'm not just gonna put it in there. So let's see how it goes. So there we go. There's my rig I'm gonna put out. Try and catch that little koi, or maybe another fish that joins him a bit later on tonight. But I'm gonna get this out. Little 15mm citrus on a Ronnie claw. Gonna get that just against those trees there, and hopefully nick one. Just after getting that rod out, I haven't even put the rod on the bank stick yet, and it started raining, like torrential rain and hail. So got the waders on, let's just get that thing on the on the alarm, and then hopefully this insane spell of weather doesn't deter the fish, because it's a drastic change, because the whole day, whole week was very hot, very warm, and just like that the sun starts to stick its head out of clouds. Oh, what a crazy spell of weather. Hopefully that didn't put the fish off too much. Hey, look, hey, there's a rainbow. That's cool. So hopefully that brings us a bit of luck. So I'm going to get in the tent, chill a bit, and hopefully you'll see me later on with the carp. So just had a take on the right hand rod, which was a solid bag, and right here in front it came off. and I was busy tying up a fresh rig for that solid bag, and then the other rod went, my left hand rod, picked it up, it had it on for a few seconds, then it was into a snag, got in the boat, and it was stuck like completely, and pulled for a break because the tree was right underneath me. I couldn't feel a fish or anything anymore, so I'm guessing it slipped the hook with a barbless rule on here. But now I don't know, I'm feeling speechless, to be honest. 2 fish in succession lost. Hopefully that's not a prediction for the rest of the session. So I'm going to change things up now. Instead of giving the fish a chance, I'm going to put my drags tight immediately. I don't care about line lay if it's in their faces. Whatever I can do to keep them away from the snags. So, and here's actually what it looks like. So the one that I pulled from the tree. So yeah, luckily that's just a hook link. If the fish is still there, which I highly doubt, because there wasn't any movement on the other side, because I felt with my hand and nothing. So I guess that's how it goes. But it's still never fun. Hopefully I can turn this around. Let's see, let's get those rods back out and hope for my luck to change. Just taking the solid bag again, and look what it is. Something that you never want to catch. Let me get him out the water, get the hook out. Well, there we go. Really hope I do not catch another one of you. Ugh. Seriously. Well, good morning. So last night after that little catfish, a bit more action. So on that same solid bag I had a take. Hey, there was a liner there. So on that solid bag I had a take, but dropped the lead. Unfortunately nothing on there. Got the rod back out. Got a few liners from the 3 rods on the spot, and an hour or so later my left hand rod on a Ronnie also had the same occurrence of just sounded like a run and lead discharged, and I only brought in the rig and everything, so got that back on the spots as well. So I don't no idea what happened, and then throughout the night it was just a bunch of liners without anything really happening. So this morning I put 1 rod back on the spot again and just put 1 single spom over the top. Well, bite time has come and gone with not any luck. I think this weather was just crazy with that massive storm coming in yesterday evening after a week, 2 weeks of sunshine, rainbows and clouds and sunny days. So unfortunately not meant to be. Well, maybe if I didn't lose so many fish I would have actually caught a carp. Yeah, going home empty-handed. The coot underneath that tree just took the pop up from my margin rod, so I'm guessing that's a sign to go home, and I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully it'll be a better session. Before I went home, decided to quickly walk around, do a bit of bass fishing, and I managed to get one. Finally I got a target species, so yeah, at least good fun. Yeah, now it's really time to go home.
A month later, we did a bit of a family trip, and once again I managed to break my PB. More than once actually.
I'm well chuffed with this one.
And let's hope.
I'm awfully nervous. fish.
With summer in full swing, I turned my attention to some park lake fishing. And after a 5-month break from Aqua, I returned to do my final few sessions.
Well, I'm back after about 6 months. Left at the start of summer, came back start of winter, so quite a few things have changed, but let's see how it goes and hopefully we can catch one. Let's get the rods out. All the rods out, everything ready, just 2 pop-ups on the main spot, because after not being here for a while there is some weed that started to grow patchy, so I didn't want to put a bottom bait on because I was scared if the hook just nicks a bit of grass or something. And then also when I got here I felt with the lead, it's very rocky in parts as well, so if I get a line or something I don't want the hook to pull in to a rock or something and get blunt. So 2 Ronnie rigs was protocol, something different this time. Brought 2 extra rods with, because you are allowed to have 4 rods on a swim. And finally I decided to just try my hand at some zig fishing. So never caught a fish on a zig, so hopefully this time I might get one, you never know. But at the end of the day, if they don't go throughout the day, maybe I'm going to change one just to another pop-up or something. Unfortunately I forgot my solid bag ingredients at home after getting everything prepared this morning. Let's get the kettle on and maybe hope we'll fish. But like I said, it's just good to be back. Gotta be careful. This is exactly how I got these scars on my legs last time. Just lost one, fortunately. It's the rig. Dropped the lead, everything, but that's how it goes. Barbless hooks, you're not going to catch them all.
Gutted, but at least there's more than enough chance for another one. So let's go. So, first one for the trip. It's not a blank. Nice, welcoming back present. So, let's get him back, and rod's already back out. So let's get him back and get in the tent. Nice fish. It's just past 12. After that previous one, put out 5 bombs of bait, or 4 bombs. Got quite a few savage liners, and this one ripped off. Not too bad. Bit of a broken tail, this one. I don't know if you can see it there. It doesn't want to tell this bent, but funny. This is definitely the prettiest one for the trip. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So the angriest one gave the biggest fight. Come on, Ajay. Look at that little stunner. Nice colors, nice scales. All perfect. This one this morning, once again on that double fake maze. Just like all the other ones from last night as well. This one's a little bit bigger, and like I said, definitely the prettiest. Let's get him back and get out the rain. Completely different day today than yesterday. Yesterday it was clear skies, everything was blue, and today it's drab and it's raining. I really did not expect it at all to be raining, but luckily managed 2 fish throughout the night, both on those double fake maze, and then throughout the night it started raining, and I, to be honest, thought that my chances are over, because usually when it rains the fish seem to shut off almost, or they move up into the upper layers. But for me personally, I've struggled every time that it rained, and it just went 7 and the rod was away. And it was a really nice mirror. Had me out in the rain, didn't have any waterproofs on because I got out of bed. And yeah, I got soaking wet and didn't want to give up, but got in a net. Beautiful mirror, not really less to pack up in the rain, in the wet. Well, gotta do what we gotta do. Luckily there is still a bit of time, maybe 2.5 hours left, so all the chance of another one. Hopefully one of the rods on the main spot will produce, and maybe we can catch a whacker. Come on.
Oh, once again, first fish lost. Don't know how this keeps happening every time almost, but it's a good thing they're on the spot, so it's always a chance of one or two more. There we go. It's one from last night on that double fake maize. Once again, these stockies really do seem to like that, so I think I'm going to keep that on the one rod. Keep them occupied that side and change the other rigs, because they do get fed a lot on maize, so I'm guessing that's a, a real trigger for them. But all in all, good fish, really happy with them. This is fish number 20 for the campaign. So if this fish doesn't have a name yet, maybe I should name him number 20. Stunning fish, pulled the rod off the pod. I forgot the alarm to put it on, and I just heard kaka kaka and one beep, and then the rod was here on the front of the jetty, so really bad angling. Luckily got it up, gave quite a bit of a scrap. But yeah, in the end, got him in. Lovely original mirror. Wow, let me show you the other side. There you go, that's the other side. Stunning fish though. So well, that bite came truly out of the blue. So very happy with it. Still busy working, and it ripped off. To be honest, what's that? It's a liner from a coot. Yeah, like I said, I honestly thought that the day is finished with the clear skies and everything. I didn't expect anything to happen throughout the day. So that was a very, very welcome fish. Like I said, number 20. Really happy. But for now, let's get working. Get some work done, and hopefully later on you'll see me again with the fish. Okay, well, I'm just backing up now. Last night was very unproductive. There was no showing fish, no signs of bubbling, no liners, nothing. And the reason I think for that was because I was out in the boat yesterday trying to get the camera down, trying to look what the bottom looks like, see if we can see something on the camera. So yeah, more just messing about. And I think all that commotion on the boat actually scared the fish off, and that's why they didn't come back at all, because it was quite a bit of noise. I was on the boat like three maybe 4 times. So definitely think that's something they do not like, which was my theory from the beginning, and that's why I also used the spom. So I'm guessing I should just continue using the spom, and next time not be out in the boat so much just leave the boat alone, leave the camera outside of the water, and I'm sure next one we'll be able to get something on the second session, because this was my first 2-night session of this campaign, and yeah, it wasn't really worth doing just 2 nights. 1 night would have been enough. But next time, staying off the boat and hopefully catch another scaly banger.
Today it's a bit of a different pace, as this is my last session of the campaign at Aqua, and this time I've decided to do something a bit different, and I brought my dad with. Now, he used to grow up in the area, so he used to walk around, well, past the lake on his way to school before it was even a lake. So really excited to be able to have him here as well. Let's hope that he might stand a chance to actually bag one. But got the rods clipped up, every rod on the spot, put the spom out, put some boilies out with the catapult. So all rods are out, each one of them on a different tactic. All 3 rods are over pre-baited areas. I have 2 rods on the pre-baited spot, and my dad has 1 other rod also on the other spot. So let's see, maybe one of them can produce us a fish. This is my first time, can't believe it actually, it's my first time doing a weekend, well, fishing on a weekend at Aqua, like ever. And it is a bit different. There's a lot more sounds going on around the lake. But yeah, all in all, feeling very excited, feeling quietly confident to maybe get one per session. But for now, just gonna chill, relax, taking the scenery as always, and if anything happens, I'll let you know. Good morning. Well, unfortunately last night wasn't as productive as I'd have hoped. Did have 2 takes, unfortunately dropped both of them, I can't believe it. And that brings me to the end of my last session. Even though I didn't catch anything, I'm still well pleased with how the season's gone. I think it's 20 fish in total. My current mirror PB is from here, and I've also had some stunning fish. For now, it's on to chapters new. Finished with this venue, the whole year on here. Now, gonna try some new venues, some new challenges, and we'll see where the journey takes us. So for now, it's goodbye, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.